Welcome to the Better Together Here podcast with your hosts Devin
and Ashley,
helping you make the most of your time in New York City. Hey everyone, and welcome to today's episode of the Better Together Here podcast. My name is Devin.
And my name is Ashley.
And in today's episode, we are going to give you 10 places to eat near the Museum of Natural History. The Museum of Natural History is on the Upper West Side of Manhattan. It is one of the most popular and famous museums in all of New York City. It's one of our favorites personally, and we're going to give you some places to eat nearby because we've talked about this before on the podcast, but you do not want to go to a museum hungry. So let's get right into it. All right, first quick overview of the Museum of Natural History. Like I said, it's one of our favorites. We go here most times that people come and visit. It's kind of on most people's list. Generally speaking, a lot of people have heard of the Met, the MoMA, and the Museum of Natural History. Those are kind of the three big ones. We love the Museum of Natural History. It is not your standard museum. It's not art. It's not sculptures. It is natural history. So it's more like science and earth and biology and the world around us.
Yeah, I would say that's a good way to describe it. It's not quite a children's museum. You definitely could bring kids to it and they would have an awesome time, but there's also a lot that you get out of it as an adult as well. The Hall of Gems is definitely a huge highlight. We've talked about that before. Really, really love the Museum of Natural History. They have incredible exhibits on gems. They have a really cool bug exhibit, which, again, as an adult, you don't think you'd be super interested in seeing a whole bunch of bugs, but very fascinating.
And they have a butterfly aviary. Is that what it's called? Aviary?
Butterfly
exhibit, yeah. Where there's thousands of different types of butterflies flying around. It's pretty wild. We've only done that part of it once, but very cool. Huge museum. Like we've talked about, you do not want to go to a museum hungry. So
they also have a planetarium.
Yes.
We should mention that.
The planetarium. Planetarium, good, not great. I thought it was okay. And the planetarium, we only did
like the one show. We haven't walked around those exhibits quite as much.
But it is an extra cost for the planetarium. Is, yeah. And like for the extra cost, I don't know if it's worth it unless you have a kid with you.
I will add, if you're going to go to the Museum of Natural History, you don't have to do any of the extra paid exhibits. Frankly, if you're only going to go once, I would just recommend doing the regular ticket. I wouldn't do the add-ons necessarily because some of them are like, you pay $25 for like a 30-minute movie. And there's pretty good documentaries you can get at home on Netflix. I don't think you need to pay $25 a ticket to go watch like a short movie. I would just go do the main exhibits. The museum is massive, so you're not going to run out of things to do. I wouldn't recommend the paid exhibits.
And speaking of movies, yes, the Museum of Natural History is the setting for Night at the Museum with Ben Stiller. So,
highly recommend if you're specifically if you're coming with kids, watch that movie before going to the museum because the museum gets a lot more interesting for kids if they have just seen that movie. When my nieces came into town a couple months ago, we watched a lot of New York-based movies, and it made it more fun for them that they had seen the Museum of Natural History in the movie and seen some of the exhibits, and were like, "Oh, we want to go see like what's it called? Like the Dum Dum Rock is what they call it in the movie.
Tiki Rock.
Yeah, the Tiki Rock."
That's a quick overview of the Museum of Natural History. Okay, let's talk about 10 places to eat. So we have done an Upper West Side guide before. If you haven't listened to that, I recommend doing that because we go into many more places than what we're going to discuss here. Some of them overlap, but specifically the places we included in this episode are a 10-minute walk or less, with maybe a slight variance on that. We also tried to include a wide variety of types of cuisines, price points, and just general experiences and vibes at these different restaurants. So let's do it here. Okay, first one on our list is Flame. So Flame is a hibachi style restaurant. You can go and do the hibachi style. Make sure you call ahead, have a reservation, because if not, you may end up waiting for a bit because they want to, fill those hibachi tables. They also have normal, standard, kind of non-hibachi options for seating and dining.
And sushi.
We've loved Flame. We have been there a handful of times. It's kind of our go-to hibachi spot, and it's pretty fairly priced when you think about hibachi generally and hibachi in New York City. It's pretty fairly priced for what you get.
If you are someone that likes hibachi and you like to be entertained while your food is being made, this is definitely the place to go. I grew up going to hibachi somewhat frequently, and they have some tricks here that I've never seen at other hibachi places that I've been to, and they get me every time. They do this thing where they'll squeeze sake into your mouth from a far distance. Kind of hard to explain, but if you go, you'll understand what I'm talking about. And they also do it for kids as well, but they squirt water, obviously, instead of sake. They have a bunch of tricks. Everyone that's making the food is making incredible food, and they're also great at entertaining as well.
Yeah. And good drinks, friendly staff, all good things. So that's Flame near the Museum of Natural History. All right, second on our list is Chama Mama. Chama Mama has multiple locations throughout New York City, including one on the Upper West Side. It is Georgian food.
The country, not the state.
Correct. It is not Southern comfort food from Georgia. It is the country of Georgia, which is known for many things, one of which is orange wine. They have a great orange wine selection at Chama Mama.
Plot twist, it's not even made with oranges.
It's made with grapes.
White grapes with the skins on.
Hence it being called orange wine. Riddle us that. It doesn't make sense, but it's delicious, refreshing. And on top of the orange wine, they're also known for these massive kind of cheese breads with different toppings and sometimes a freshly kind of like cracked egg or a raw egg in there. It's called khachapuri. You have to get this if you go to Chama Mama. This was probably my favorite thing when we went. We got a plethora of different dishes because we went with a group. But man, that khachapuri is amazing.
It's kind of like a bread bowl and fondue.
Yeah.
Made a baby. With an egg inside.
Correct. It's amazing. If you go to Chama Mama, if you hadn't have Georgian food frequently, just ask your waiter. They'll have good recommendations. That's what we did. Everything we tried was delicious. And, we've talked about this before on other episodes, but when you come to New York, try to go places that are different types of cuisine that you may not get at home. And frankly, Chama Mama is one of those places. So go there. All right. Third on our list is Sala Thai, which we are both Google Maps aficionados. We love Google Maps. And we kind of have this rule where if you look something up on Google Maps and if it has 200 or more reviews and less than 4 stars, we won't go in because it's not good. That's just frankly how it works.
There are millions of restaurants in New York City. I mean, maybe not millions, but there are so many restaurants in New York City. Do not waste your time with something that is reviewed with less than 4 stars.
Yeah. And on that note, Sala Thai, I think has 4.8 stars or 4.9 with thousands of reviews. So that's kind of another just pro tip with navigating places to eat in New York. If it's 4.5 stars or higher and has 1,000 or more reviews, it's going to be good. Of course, you may have an anomaly, but it's going to be delicious. And that is how Sala Thai is. Arguably the best Thai food on the Upper West Side. And there could definitely be an argument made for some of the best in Manhattan.
Sala Thai has incredible food, awesome appetizers, really, really unique, yummy cocktails that are reasonably priced. And the food presentation really goes above and beyond, in my opinion. I'm actually not really a person that cares that much about food presentation. However, every time I go here, I'm always impressed at how pretty the food looks, and it tastes even better than it looks.
So that's Sala Thai. Check it out. Tons of great dish options. Again, ask your waiter if you're not really sure. But most of the staples are going to be phenomenal.
On weekdays, I believe they also have a really good lunch special. And I will also add that the decor and the ambiance in there is very cool. Very authentic to the type of food that you're going to eat.
Love that. All right, next on our list, and we're going to kind of go through a few options here that are a little bit more casual. Those first 3 were all sit down, nice, waiting, being waited on types of restaurants. The next on our list is 7th Street Burger. So 7th Street Burger has close to 20 locations nationwide with 15 in New York City specifically. I think it first opened only in 2021 and it's really exploded. 7th Street Burger, they are fast, cheap, and delicious, which really if you're looking for a burger and a quick eat, that's all you can ask for. And it's kind of the more smashed down style burgers. So they're a little bit kind of that smash style grilling. Phenomenal. And their fries are great. Love 7th Street.
I really like 7th Street because they are a burger place through and through, and they truly exceed in that. Their burgers are phenomenal. And like Devin mentioned, the prices are very fair, specifically for New York City. You can get a cheeseburger for like $6 or $7. The fries are really great. I will add that the portions are smaller. This is not the place where you're going to get like a huge cheeseburger. If you're really hungry, you might want 1 or 2.
Or a double.
Yeah. But highly recommend. Really simple spot, but they really excel in the simplicity.
Yeah. And it's quick, which again, if you're like in a bit more of a time bind, this is a great option. You could grab it and eat it as you're walking to the museum. We're going to take a quick break to remind you to sign up for the Better Together Here newsletter. We email once a week with important things that you want to know about New York City, the best places to eat, the best things to see, the best ways to get around, all the things that you want to know once a week. So go to bettertogetherhere.com/newsletter and sign up today. All right, next on the list, Made in New York pizza. We have talked a lot about pizza on this podcast. We love New York City pizza. New York City pizza is the best. This is not up for debate. And Made in New York pizza is a damn good slice. It is not the best pizza I've ever had. It's not the best pizza in the city. It might be the best on Upper West Side as far as like quick casual pizza goes. But their slices are amazing. I love their upside down pepperoni, which if you've never had an upside down slice before, highly recommend trying it out. Most of their slices are in like the $3 to $6 range ish. So again, kind of like standard slice price in New York City, but really, really good pizza.
Always really fresh when you go there as well. You're never getting a slice where you're looking at it before they toss it in the oven and you're like, how long has that been sitting out? Every time I've gone in there, the pizzas look very fresh and looks like they were made within a few hours of when you're actually eating it.
Which makes a big difference. And Made in New York pizza is open pretty late. Not that that relates so much to the museum side of this episode, but open late if you're in the area and need a late night bite. Okay, next on the list, Tiki Chick. Oh man.
It's a tiki bar.
And it's themed like that, so it's pretty like, intense and kind of overboard, frankly, with the decor and whatnot. The drinks, if you go to Tiki Chick, we do not like the drinks there. They are super sweet and super sugary.
There are a lot of people that like very sweet tiki islandy drinks. Like if you like tiki drinks, you will love this place. We're just not big tiki drink people.
But it's like hardcore sugary. Like it is more sugary than it needs to. Like I can like a tiki drink from time to time. Like I love a pina colada if it's made well. But man, their drinks, they're just so sugary.
They're so sugary, and I think I had the worst hangover of my whole life after drinking one drink at Tiki Chick. We had gone to other places before, but I ended with Tiki Chick drink, and that was a mistake.
But outside of the drinks, they have some of the best chicken sandwiches, and they're only $5. They have like 5 to 8 different sandwich types. Some of them rotate. Some of them are like they'll have specials that'll come and go, but they are absolutely phenomenal chicken sandwiches. Often we'll just pop by and grab a chicken sandwich to go. They have one that has like I think even Spam on it and pineapple and like a barbecue drizzle. Oh, so good.
Don't they have a to-go window as well if you don't even want to go in the actual restaurant?
Yeah, they handle to-go stuff pretty well. So again, another quick option if you're in a little bit more of a rush. You can also sit down and order and have a drink and hang out. They have nice outdoor seating as well. If you are, depending on the season, that might be better than other times, but their chicken sandwiches, honestly, and it's the type of chicken sandwich too. It's not massive, but you could go and get like a 7th Street burger and also a Tiki Chick kind of in one go, and maybe even a slice of pizza. Like you can just have pop around
and then go to
here.
the museum and then get a slice of pizza.
Yeah.
Frankly, get all of it.
Yeah. Like these 3 that we've just talked about, like you could do all 3 of these in like a few hour period and be super happy that you did. 7th Street burger, Made in New York pizza, and Tiki Chick. So check those out. And that leads us to this episode's You'll Have to Check It Out segment.
The next stop is
Beer Run on the Upper West Side. We loved Beer Run when we went. It is just as the name portrays, a cozy beer forwards, actually only beers. I don't think they have any cocktails or maybe very, very few, but it is a beer bar. They have multiple locations throughout the city. The one on the Upper West Side is relatively new, within the last year, and they have dozens of beers on draft, and then also like 3 or 4 massive fridges full of different craft beers, ranging in all types of styles, from IPAs to sours to dark lagers. I mean, anything you want to try beer-wise, they're going to have it at Beer Run.
This is a really fun spot to go if you like beer, you're with people that like beer. It's fun that they have so many different beer options and everyone can try something new that you've never had before, and everyone can kind of share and learn more about beer and find out what you like and don't like. It took me a really long time to like beer, and I like it now, and it's because I tried so many different kinds of it. So this is a good spot if you are new to beer or a beer lover to try a whole bunch of different varieties.
And if I remember correctly, they had multiple size options on draft where you could get a smaller and then a larger. And I think some of them were as cheap, for the smaller drafts, as cheap as like $5, maybe $6, which for craft beer is good. I mean, you're not getting a ton of beer, but they have multiple price points, plenty of options, and the staff's super friendly. They'll give you recommendations, probably let you try some if you want to. Really recommend Beer Run on the Upper West Side. This one is not less than a 10-minute walk from the Museum of Natural History, but we did want to include it because it's maybe only 15 minutes from the museum.
One quick note on the staff being nice. We actually came here for Devin's birthday, and I had mentioned to the bartender that it was Devin's birthday, and the guy was like, "Do you want me to do a little something for his birthday?" And I was like, "Sure, that'd be so nice." And I thought he was going to give Devin a free beer, silently with a wink. Instead, he yelled.
It was
everybody.
Full.
It was a full, the outside was full. The
we were
inside
sitting
was
outside,
full.
and the outside and the inside were full. And this guy stands up, and I kind of see him standing awkwardly between our table. I'm like, what is about to happen?
He goes, "Can I get everyone's attention, please?" And we're like, "Is there a fire?" He goes, "It's this gentleman right here. It's his birthday. Let's all sing him happy birthday." And getting happy birthday sung to you is already awkward with 5 people you know, but if it's 40 people that you don't know, it was very nice though. It was a very nice gesture. Yeah.
And bless the people who were there that they were just leaning into it. And we're like, all right, let's sing happy birthday
Everyone
for this stranger. It was hilarious. It was just that. I think that epitomizes what Beer Run is. It's just cozy, friendly. Everyone's there for a good time, coming in for a quick drink. Yeah, a great option. So that's this episode's You'll Have to Check It Out segment, Beer Run on the Upper West Side. And now back to restaurants near the Museum of Natural History.
Stand clear of the closing doors, please.
All right, next on our list, we have talked about this. I believe it was You'll Have to Check It Out specifically about this restaurant's location down in the Village, but they have an Upper West Side option, and it is called Mamoun's Falafel. Probably the best falafel I've had in my entire life. Really,
really delicious. Very well seasoned falafel. Always very fresh, delicious pita options, especially if you're with somebody if you're with somebody that's a vegetarian or you are a vegetarian, this is a great option for you.
Yeah, cannot go wrong with Mamoun's Falafel. Again, this is more of a quick spot. Price point is kind of on that fast casual side. I think you'll probably spend anywhere from $8 to $14, depending on what you get. But it's filling, and they're good sized pitas. They have kind of good toppings that go along with them. Really a great option. All right, and next on our list, we're kind of getting back into more sit down style. I included this one because it is an Upper West Side staple, and it's a good option if you're interested in maybe watching some sports before or after a museum, or you want to catch a game, whatever it might be. That is Blondies Sports. This is, you walk in and you kind of feel like you're stepping into 1998. And even a lot of the people inside.
That's a perfect explanation.
And even a lot of the people inside, you look at them and you're like, are you stuck in 1998? Not in a bad way. It is just this kind of local feeling bar that has, again, been on the Upper West Side for quite a while. They have tons of TVs, tons of seating. You'll almost never wait for seating unless you're coming for March Madness or the Super Bowl or something, but almost always there's plenty of seating. They have projector style TVs, normal TVs, no problem there to get a seat. And their wings are fantastic. I love Blondie's wings.
Yeah, that was what I was going to recommend to eat as well. The Blondie's wings are what you go for.
I think that's what we get every time we go. I'm sure we've tried other things. I think I've had their burger before.
We might have dabbled in a chicken finger or two.
Yeah.
But the wings are phenomenal.
Yeah.
Pretty sure they make their buffalo sauce in-house, and it shows.
Yeah, it's super, super good. And depending on when you're there, they might have some good specials on drinks, those types of things. So Blondies Sports is a great option if there's a game you want to catch before or after going to the Museum of Natural History, or if you just want some good wings. All right, next on our list, we've got Playa Betty's. We've talked about this before. So we both grew up on the West Coast, Ashley specifically in California, myself more so in Utah. And so we are a bit biased when it comes to Mexican food because, frankly, the Mexican food on the West Coast is just so much better. And like, this is probably one category of food where New York City struggles overall, but we're still including Playa Betty's because it is a good Mexican spot on the Upper West Side.
When we've come here in the past, I've really enjoyed their enchiladas. Their chips and salsa is great, and they make a very, very good margarita.
Yeah, it's going to be your just kind of standard sit-down Mexican restaurant food, but it's a good option. It is probably more expensive than you want to pay for Mexican food, but it's a fun vibe. They have good drink options. The decor is nice. It's a good spot if you're looking for Mexican food, because what I do love about Mexican food is that it is super filling. So especially like if you're going to go for a good 2 to 3 hours at the museum to have a belly full of rice and beans, never going to hurt. And last on our list, possibly saving the best for last, there's an argument to be made, but that is Jacob's Pickles. This is Southern comfort food. So this is
not Georgian food.
Not Georgian food. This is Southern comfort food. The thing you need to know about Jacob's Pickles is, number one, make a reservation. It is almost always busy, unless you're going at like Wednesday at 3 p.m. But outside of that, it's going to be busy, so make a reservation. The second thing you need to know, the portions are massive. If you're going with one other person, you could probably get by with like one appetizer and one entree, and you'll probably still have too much food.
It is fun when you go with a bigger group of people and go to Jacob's Pickles because you get to try more things. But like Devin said, seriously, the portions are massive. Usually the waiter will remind you of that, especially if you haven't been there before. They'll let you know that the portions are meant to be shared. But everything there is so delicious. I've never had anything that was mediocre at this restaurant, and we've tried almost everything on the menu at this point.
Yeah.
This is probably the best restaurant on this list.
I think so. And I like it because there's like still a good variety of food. Yes, it's Southern comfort food, so it's going to be a lot of biscuits and a lot of gravy and that type of things, but there is a wide
lot of fried chicken, a lot of pickles.
Yeah. Hence the name, right? Like they are known for their pickles. They have pickles that they home make. They have like pickle inspired cocktails.
Oh my gosh, the pickle margarita. Don't skip it. If you like pickles and you like tequila, that is the pick.
Yeah, and we also love the midnight mac and cheese, which is a mac and cheese with like sausage and jalapenos. Oh, so good.
And an over easy egg on top.
Delicious.
Sheesh.
Also, any of the like chicken sandwiches, they're served open face with like just the most massive biscuit, a big old thing of fried chicken, and all the sauces and toppings that come with whatever specific one you got. I mean,
grits on the side.
Oh, their grits are amazing. Really, Jacob's Pickles,
they have
absolutely
great beers.
Phenomenal.
They have great beers and a really expansive whiskey list as well.
You have to check out Jacob's Pickles. If you're going to go to one place on this list, probably Jacob's Pickles should be there. And it's very close to the museum.
But like Devin said, make a reservation.
Yes.
I would plan going to the museum around going to Jacob's Pickles.
We hope you have a good idea of some restaurants to check out near the Museum of Natural History. We hope that you check out the Museum of Natural History when you come to New York City. It is a great museum. The Upper West Side is a beautiful neighborhood. There is so much to see. Like I mentioned before, if you have not checked out our Upper West Side guide, we have a full article and podcast on the website diving deep into tons of different bars, restaurants, things to do on the Upper West. If you have not as well, please sign up for our newsletter. We email only once a week. It's not spam. It's not garbage emails. It is a once a week email with something that you will learn about New York City, tip, a place to go, a new article, a new podcast, whatever it might be. So go to bettertogetherhere.com/newsletter. And other than that, we'll catch you on the next episode.